Meeting to order, please rise. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Personal appeals, part one. Anyone with a personal appeal, please step forward, sign in, state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Matthew Spangenberg. I'm a local contractor and remodeler here in Emmaus. I also own a few investment properties. I purchased the property at 544 Broad Street,
What's your address?
7143. Sorry, I didn't read this. All right, Matthew Spangenberg. My address is 7143 St. Peters Road,
Okay.
in Macungie. And I'll start over. So I'm a local contractor, remodeler. I have a few investment properties here. I purchased property at 544 Broad Street back in March, and I've been working slowly to improve it. The home was in very bad condition and has been in need of complete gutted down to the studs. The old boiler was broken beyond repair when I bought it and had no heat. We have since done all new plumbing, electric, and heating system in the home. I used to live across the street at 545 Broad Street up until 4 years ago when I moved to Macungie. I had gas heat when I lived there, so I figured on installing a new high-efficiency gas forced hot air system in the new house I was working on. I applied for and received the permits for plumbing, electric, heating, and got approved. Then I got the new heating system installed. Just recently, about a week and a half ago, I called UGI to ask them to come out and hook up the gas line. I was told by them there's a 5-year moratorium on opening up the road. I lost my place. Okay. I called the borough and found out that the street work had been done back in April and July of 2011. So now UGI is not allowed to open up the road without permission. I currently have all the water on in the house because I needed the water lines pressurized for the plumbing inspection, and now I have no heat or any way of getting heat. I'm very concerned about the pipes freezing and bursting, and I'm asking your permission to cut open the road to run gas to my house. I understand it will be 6 to 9 months early, depending on when the section of the road was actually paved, but I really have no other options. My new gas furnace and heating system is installed and ready to go, but without permission to open the street, I'm kind of stuck. I had no idea there was a 5-year moratorium on the road. When I lived across the street during the paving process 4 years ago, I was never told about it, and when I purchased the house early this year, I was never told there was a moratorium. It wasn't until last week when I called UGI that they informed me about it. So I'm here to ask you permission to grant me to have UGI run gas into the house. I love Emmaus. I lived here for 7 years. I own homes here, and I try to improve them in the neighborhood when I do buy them, and I'd like to have your help on this.
What we normally do when we get a request like this, we send it to committee, which would be Mr. Labenberg's Public Works Committee. Mr. Labenberg, when's your next meeting?
It would be November, first Thursday in November, which would be, looks like 5th, November 5th, at 3:30 here in council chambers.
I
don't know if we should wait that long.
No, actually, the General Administration is meeting on the 28th. Mr. Barrett, is this something you would like to discuss at your committee?
Sure. Can we deal with it tonight? I mean, I don't foresee there being much of a choice in this matter about what has to happen. If there was a gas leak under the road, UGI would open it without question.
Automatically, that's correct.
Different situation.
We normally don't, and we haven't. We had this request before for on Harrison Street, and we had referred it to committee,
Okay.
and it was discussed at committee level. But in all fairness, our next meeting isn't until November 2nd, even if it goes to Gen Ad.
But the second is the night of the meeting also, so we could vote on it. Is it not?
Yes,
So,
Gen Ed meets on the 28th.
Yeah, we meet
of
on the
October,
28th.
right. We could bring it up then again on November 2nd, because Gen Ed will make the recommendation on the 28th.
And you're part of that committee?
yeah, that's fine.
All right?
I'm fine with that.
Speeds it up 2
Issues?
weeks.
No, I mean, that'll give us a chance to talk to the Public Works Director.
I think we do need to find out a little bit more on the dates to make certain, just before we go ahead and authorize it. If
Just
that's,
concerned about the cold temperatures and stuff.
I understand. Unfortunately, we have a process that we follow, and that's what it would be, to send it to committee, have it reviewed. We will look at it, we'll make a recommendation on the November 2nd council meeting.
Okay, so what do I need to do? Do I need to come back to another meeting, or,
No, I think we have all the information that we need.
okay? So I just wait till November 3rd to be notified?
November 3rd, you'll be notified.
Okay,
Okay?
and you have my information?
Yes.
Signed in here? Okay.
Second meeting.
You are welcome.
But, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
You are welcome to come to that committee meeting, you know, if you'd like to, you know, discuss it.
Okay.
That is, it is open for public, so I don't want you
So
to.
when is that?
Feel you couldn't come.
October 28th at 9 a.m.
Right here.
What day is that?
It's a Wednesday,
At 9 a.m., okay.
and then the council meeting will be November
November
2nd, right?
2nd.
The same time as tonight.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't get cold. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I think it's gonna warm up. First time or second time we ever had that request. I don't remember me being here. I don't remember.
Tony Groller, 1302 South 10th Street, Mass. I have a couple of questions. You don't have to answer them because I know what the answers are going to be. Now, you had a picnic and you shut the whole town down. And don't forget, all of these workers, you had this picnic for 3 hours, from 12 to 3 or more or less. Each of those employees, you had to pay their salary and they had to pay their benefits. My question is, why didn't we have this on a Saturday, and then all of these employees would have worked the regular shift or whatever they had to do? They could have went out to the Public Works Department. They could have went out and done some patching and getting some of these streets in shape for the winter. Now, why did we have it during the week? I don't understand that. Because just think about this, how much that costs the taxpayers for these people that do nothing. They didn't have to do nothing for three hours. Their pay, their benefits, everything that's included. If you would have done this on a Saturday, they were all off. So it would have really been a good thing for Saturday. I don't understand how the whole body here, I'm going to look at the whole body here, that where was the thinking? I don't know.
Why are you so after the Public Works Department? Why do you follow the Public Works guys around and harass them? Why don't you just let them alone? The Public Works guys, why are you always harassing them?
Hey,
I'm asking you a question now.
why I'm after him? Well, if any of you people sitting in these chairs would go talk to them during the day, if you would go around and see, are we working 8 hours a day, or are we working 6.5 hours a day, or what are we doing? I'm a taxpayer, Brian, and believe you me, this is going on for a couple of years already. I'm like, you can't believe what I'm doing to do it, and during the day in a community here. I'm around like SH, if you know what that is. And what I can see, and I'm going to tell you right now, I had a camera in my car. This is about a month or so ago, when somebody on a grader, front end loader, come charging into almost into my door. And then he tells other people, oh no, I was away 3 feet. I could have touched the bucket of this grader. I only wish I would have had my camera. I had to take the camera out because I'm not gonna allow him this anymore. If I get threatened, I'm gonna take a picture of this car with them to let them know. Now, I know I'm the bad guy, that's all I'm the bad guy. But all these other guys are all the good guys. But Brian, you don't know really how I got tormented. What I was told, private, this is private. And what are you doing here? But don't underestimate.
Well, you can't go into compost unless it's open to the public. You're not supposed to be in there unless it's open to the public.
You're not supposed to be in there in the.
Only when it's open to the public are you supposed to be in there.
Wednesdays and Saturdays, or if it's open on a Monday. You are right. And that's the only time I go up there.
That's a lie.
No.
You've been up there when it's not open to the public.
All
right, enough.
Sorry, I was just trying to talk loud enough so you could hear me.
We've had this
I don't go up
Tony,
there when it's not open.
Tony, we've had this conversation at last meeting
I know.
about what went on with
But anyhow.
Works, and it was addressed with you. We're not gonna discuss it anymore. Fair?
So in other words, you're telling me I don't have the right to express what I'm trying to say?
I didn't say that.
Well, what are you saying?
Well, when you and Mr. Holthafer were talking, you brought up the compost pile. That issue was discussed with
I
you.
don't go up there when it's
Well,
not open.
you know what? We talked about it. We heard it last
Yeah.
month. We're done on that topic. What
Well-
else you got?
But anyway, let's get back to all of these employees. That
He's got 2 more
we're
minutes.
gonna pay them, whoever pays, which you know, and I know who's gonna pay them. And they, for 3 hours, they all had a good time at the picnic, which I don't blame them. But anyhow, somebody as a taxpayer, and I believe all of you people sitting in this chamber, sooner or later, somebody might ask you, what are we doing? Why couldn't we have this on a Saturday? And then all of these other employees would have had to do their own work like they always do. In fact, some of these borough employees, like Brian said, he thinks I'm after him. I'm not after him. I don't care about him. Why didn't they do some patchwork or whatever? Spend some of that time and giving them up for free. We gave them all free money for 3 hours.
Tony, your 5 minutes are up. Does any member of council want to extend Mr. Groller's
Oh,
time?
whatever. You guys will do whatever you want anyhow. Thank you.
I
Mr.
wanna-
Ladenburg?
I want to address them. Tony, right here. So I'm the chairman of Public Works, and you
I
often,
know you are.
and you often-
I didn't want to,
What about the
You
5 minutes?
should-
5 minutes were up.
He's asking him a question.
Brian, do me a favor. If you get time sometime, don't announce it that you're going to go around. Just check things out.
Yeah,
That's
please
all I
follow
ask.
them home like he does. Follow them everywhere they go. When they go to the bathroom, follow them everywhere you can because that's what he spends most of his day doing.
Mr. Ladenburg.
okay, as I was starting to say,
Okay.
I'm the chairman of the Public Works Committee.
I know. I know who.
Please
said-
don't speak. I just want to talk.
I know who said. But listen.
Tony,
Tony.
I want to talk. Just listen, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Over the years, you have come up here multiple times, almost always about the Public Works. Since I am the Public Works Chairman, I always bring up legitimate concerns that you have at our committee meetings. Multiple times I have done that since I'm the chairman. We address it, and we usually give a response at a council meeting. What I won't respond to is when you come up to the podium and you say things like, they get paid for doing nothing, they're just standing around. When you make comments like that, I just tune you out because, to be honest with you, we know what they're doing.
Do you?
Maybe sometimes they're taking their breaks because, you know what? There's contracts that have to be followed. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well,
I know all about
and you
it.
have a reputation for being around them all the time. It's known in this borough, it's known by the workers, it's known by this council. And when you come up here accusing them of not doing any work, council's gonna tune you out. I'm gonna tune you out. I'm not gonna address you when you talk like that, as far as at the committee level. When you have a legitimate concern, I bring it to my committee. Tonight, you did not have a legitimate concern, so thank you.
Anyone else have a personal appeal?
Okay. I won't forget it. I won't forget it, Brian.
Does anyone else have a personal appeal? Hearing none, moving on. I'd like to welcome the scouts that we have this evening. Troop 80 from St. Anne's, right? Everybody's from St. Anne's? No? Well, welcome anyway, gentlemen. All right, community minute. Any member of council have an item for community minute?
Go right ahead.
Just
Mr.
a quick
Anders.
reminder that trick or treat is coming up on Thursday, the 29th. I hope I didn't step on you, Mr. Mayor. I know that's thing, but just a reminder.
Good.
Thank you. 6 to 8.
6 to 8, thank you.
Mr. Barrett.
I was going to offer a quick thank you to the parade committee for a job well done, as always. It was a great parade. Could have been a little warmer, but I also wanted to just mention the success that we had in the National Penn Halloween in Emmaus 5K race. We had a record number of registrants, 405 registrants. As usual, well, I should mention too that we raised just under $10,000.
Wow.
Which is great. That's our gross
Good.
numbers.
That's
I have
great.
expenses to figure out first, but that's the gross preliminary number, which is fantastic. National Penn, as they always have, was our title sponsor. They gave $1,000. The Emmaus Run-In donated $420 in prizes and also countless employee hours. So special thanks to Chris Schmidt at Emmaus Run-In and also Ron Lessig at National Penn Bank. And this year we'll be contributing $3,000 to the Halloween Parade Committee and $1,600 to the Special Entertainment / Parks and Rec, however we figure that out.
New
It'll be
title.
going to them. And I also want to thank Dr. Breslin from OAA. He made a contribution to the parade, and also 187 Rue Principal, the new French restaurant in town, also contributed as well. So thanks for everyone that came out, and it was a great event.
Thank you. Mr. Ladenburg.
Well, I'd like to thank the parade committee also, but I have to thank Wes because this is his 9th year of running the race. He puts a lot of time into it, and he always contributes donations to the borough and the organization. So thank you, Wes, and I know you put a lot of time into it, so it's greatly appreciated by this borough, I know. The funding helps the organizations or the committees that you help with those donations, so thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Shubsa.
Just so everyone's aware, the Student Film Festival will be taking place October 25th at the Emmaus Theater at 2 p.m. We'll be showing the finalists for the high school and middle school division throughout the Lehigh Valley.
How many finalists do you have?
We have 28.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Good. That's great.
It'll be nice. Yep.
Good. Anyone else? No? All right. Special presentations. We have nothing this evening. Reading of the minutes. In your binder are the minutes from the October 5th council meeting. Is there a motion to dispense with the formal reading of those minutes? Motion by Mr. Lavenberg. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brown. Discussion. All those in favor? We have 7 ayes. Additions or corrections? Hearing none. Motion to adopt is drafted. Motion by Mr. Lavenberg. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Anders. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes. Decision on bids. We have no bids this evening. Communications. We have nothing in our binder. Does any member of council have an item for communication this evening? Mr. Pepe, do you have anything? Mr. Mayor, do you have anything? No, okay. No, well, that's a good thing. Borough Engineers Report. We have no engineer this evening. We have no report. Solicitors Report. Attorney Dimick, what do you have?
I have no report, but I am here.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You earned your pay today.
Unfinished business, part 1. We have nothing on the agenda, which brings us to new business. In your binder is ordinance 1132. This is an ordinance dealing with a handicap parking space at 348 Broad Street. This is first reading this evening. Is there a motion to read ordinance 1132 in short title? Motion by Mr. Schubsta, second by Mr. Barrett. Discussion. All those in favor? We have 7 ayes. Ordinance 1132, an ordinance of the Borough of UMass, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 15, Section 602.2A of the Mass Borough Code, adding a residential handicap parking sign on the public street located in front of 348 Broad Street within the Borough of UMass. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 1132 as read? Motion by Mr. Anders. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brown. Discussion. Roll call vote. Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Schubsta.
Aye.
Mr. Anders.
Aye.
Mr. Leitenberg.
Aye.
Mr. Holtzapher.
Aye.
Mr. Barrett.
Aye.
Mrs. Gilbert votes aye. We have 7 ayes. If we could have this scheduled for second reading. Mr. Pepe.
November 16th.
Very good. Unfinished business part 2. We have nothing on the agenda this evening. Items not on the agenda subject to Rule 9. Any member of council have an item that they wish to bring forward? Hearing none. Mayor's report. Mr. Mayor. You don't have anything either.
Other than the parade was wonderful, yeah, and Wes did a heck of a job. I was down there. I couldn't walk it this year, so I stood at the triangle. And really, it was good. Yep.
Very good. I think we all had a wonderful time. Committee reports. Public Works, Mr. Leitenberg.
We did not have a meeting since last meeting, and our next meeting is November 5th here in council chambers at 3:30. Progress.
Health, Sanitation, and Codes, Mr. Schubsta.
We have nothing for official action this evening. I'll report progress. Our next meeting is scheduled for November 19th at 4:30 p.m.
Very good. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Anders.
We have nothing this evening as well. Our next meeting is November 3rd at 4 p.m.
Thank you. Public Safety. In your binder are the notes from our last Public Safety Committee meeting, which was October 7th. We had discussed a couple items. There's one item that we do need official action on this evening. Last year, during the budgeting process, we budgeted wages for promotional exam. And the committee is asking that we start that process, that we ask Civil Service to start the process for the promotional exams. Chief Faust is looking to promote 2 sergeants, Mr. Pepe, and 2 corporals, is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we can promote as many as you want in the end, but we're asking.
But he's
to
starting
start
at
the
that point?
process. Yes.
Okay. So the committee is asking that we at least start the process.
So, who's going to make that?
Are you making that motion, Mr. Brown? Is there a second? Second by Mr. Schubsta. Discussion. All those in favor? There's 7 ayes. Mr. Pepe, you had attended the Civil Service Committee meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
As a result of that meeting, the commission has decided that they're going to avoid the current list.
That is correct.
Do we need to ask them to start the list again, or is that just something that they can do on their own?
We're going to ask that you make the request. They are going to, before we start the process, if you request that, they are going to change some rules.
Prior to?
Yeah, prior to the hiring process.
Okay, but at this point, you do need a motion from us to ask them to start the hiring process all over?
Yes.
Is there a motion to that effect? Motion by Mr. Barrett, second by Mr. Brown. Discussion. Mr. Leitenberg.
Do we have to take a vote to terminate the current list?
No,
That's the
We do not.
commission's
it's not your
responsibility.
list.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were at, literally, I think we had maybe 5 left.
Okay. No, I understand. I didn't know if there was a process
Yeah, no,
involved with that.
they have the power to do that. We're out of Act 120 applicants, which means we wouldn't be seeing somebody come on until probably February of next year.
At the earliest.
No, I'm when I say next year, I mean 2017.
17.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's start over, is kind of the
The other
philosophy
next
here. And
Next.
maybe we look at mandating Act 120 if we want to get an officer on the road sooner. It's going to narrow the pool, but everybody that applies would have the certification.
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
I just rewrote rules for Salisbury Civil Service, and I have a suggestion. I will send it over to John Ashley with your permission, but I want to run it by you. What Salisbury has done is they've always been an Act 120 community. In other words, you had to have Act 20 to
Right,
apply.
mandatory.
They have now, they want to modify it to say that if someone is currently attending the Act 120 school and has been in there and will graduate within basically the same time frame of our process, that they can apply. It doesn't mean they get a job, but in effect, what they're saying is, you've got people that are in the process, they'll be available, why cut them out? They'll give us
Right.
more. I wrote rules for that in Salisbury, and I can send them to John Ashley, and I'll send a copy to you if you wish.
But,
I
and
believe that was
ironically,
discussed.
ironically, we had that exact conversation at the commission meeting.
I already
Exactly to that point.
I already did the rules, so if you would like to see them, I have them.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes. All right, that was all for police hire? Mr.
Could I
Deputy,
just make
Mr.
one
Field?
other comment?
Yes.
If we start the list now before you modify the rule, you will still be under the old rules. So I assume that the request is that they will wait till after the rule modification.
That's
Yes.
correct.
That's the implication
Yes.
of what was said, okay.
We covered everything for police hire? There was
Yes.
nothing more? All right. Also in your binder is an application for a part-time EMT. Caitlin Jones. Mr. Pepe, did you take part in her interview?
I did, and I apologize, I didn't
You didn't do a memo on her,
I didn't do a
but that's
memo.
okay.
I interviewed her Friday. I would recommend hiring. We're short on EMTs. You're seeing the salary budget balloon in the ambulance. You're also seeing revenue increasing as well. But one of the reasons the salary is ballooning is because we have paramedics filling EMT shifts. And sometimes it's paramedics on overtime filling EMT shifts. So you're paying literally double the rate. Caitlin Jones has been a paid paramedic in Easton for the last 2 years. I'm on a kick of if they can't work at least one shift a week, I won't hire them. I mean, so I won't even entertain interviewing her unless she can work at least one shift a week. And that was the first question I asked in the interview, and the answer was yes, she can. You'll see she works at Suburban EMS. She doesn't get a whole lot of shifts there. She's telling us that she has like 4 days straight off in a 7. I think they work like a 4 on 3 off, and then 3 on 4 off rotation in 2 weeks. So my recommendation would be to hire well-educated, community involvement. I see no reason not to hire. Everything came out clean as far as background check.
And you did all her
Yeah.
child abuse, criminal
Yes.
history? Okay. Is there a motion to hire Caitlin Jones? Motion by Mr. Anders, second by Mr. Brown. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes. I believe that was everything that needed official action from public safety. Mr. Anders?
Just, I saw the wheelchair van. Is that striped and up and running now?
I don't believe it's been striped yet. It's here, but it's not out on the street as of yet.
Thought maybe it was ready now.
No, I don't think so.
Striping
The
of the
wheelchair
van?
van.
The wheelchair van? No. Okay.
As of the 7th, it was not. Mr. Brown?
Do we want to, in our notes here, public safety notes, is the speed time board data came back. Do you want to mention that?
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you, Madam. There's an average of, we had the speed timing board out on the 900 block of Chestnut Street. It's about an average of 9,000 cars a day, and they're traveling about 27.5 miles per hour. I just wanted to give that data out to the public. Thank you.
Also, I don't know if members of council have noticed, but the pedestrian crossing signs that were put on Chestnut Street and Main Street have been removed because of regulations that govern those signs. PennDOT had indicated they should not be used at intersections that are controlled by traffic controlling devices, so we actually removed them. We are going to be looking at other locations in the borough that we can use them. There's one out on Harrison Street at 2nd and Harrison, because it's near the school. If anybody else has another area that they'd like to see a sign, please forward it to Public Safety, and we'll look at it, because we do have to notify PennDOT when we move them the new location. So if anybody has a suggestion for a place, let us know.
What is the sign that we're looking at for putting up with the pole? It says, what type of signage is that? It says with the pole, the cost per sign.
It would be
Just a crosswalk sign.
A yellow
Just
pedestrian crossing
yeah.
crosswalk is what they look like.
That's what we would put there.
Okay.
We had some issues with those signs, so we thought it would be safer for us to remove them. If there's no other questions on the report, committee will report progress. Hearing nothing, Public Safety will report progress. Our next meeting is November 4th. General Administration, Mr. Barrett.
Yes, we have one item for official action. At our last meeting, we received a letter from the school requesting a permit waiver for a project that one of the school committees is, or one of the school groups is doing. It was a unanimous recommendation to waive that fee. It was a $50 fee, so I'll place that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Labenberg. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
Shane, there was no official action needed on the administrative order, correct?
We should probably take action just to publicly acknowledge it and vote to accept it.
Okay. As most members on council know, we had requested a 10-year extension of the EPA administrative order that has to do with wastewater runoff.
The I&I project.
The I&I project, there we go. That was denied, and we were given a temporary extension of 2 years. So do we have any official action other than just acknowledging that we're accepting that? Motion to accept?
Yeah, I would
2 years?
Motion
just
to
do a
accept.
motion to accept.
All right.
You don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah. So I'll place that in the form of a motion to accept the 2-year extension.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Labenberg. Discussion? Mr. Labenberg.
Shane, when we get to the end of the extension, are we allowed to ask for an extension on the extension?
I think there will probably be a lot of extensions on the extension, to be honest.
Okay.
You'll see in your.
I just want to know how.
Yeah, you'll see in your budget binders a lot of information about the sewer plant, the expansion, the improvements. It's gonna be 2 years before they even begin to address the larger I&I issue, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can see this. It's almost like we're being, like, toyed with by them, you know, they strung us along for an entire year. I mean, we requested it a year ago and just got the letter.
And there were other municipalities that received extension, if I read that correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a big list.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
I have no other items that require official action progress.
Thank you. Budget and Finance, Mr. Holzapfel.
Thank you, ma'am. First on my agenda this evening, and the only thing on my agenda this evening, I believe, would be the bill list. I'll read the bill list. Resolution 2015-25, resolved by Borough Council to authorize payment of the October 19th, 2015 bill list as follows. Bill list $1,181,067.58. Payroll number 21, $140,243.78. Payroll taxes $51,167.72 for a total of $1,372,479.08. Done this 19th of October 2015. I'll make that into the form of a motion.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Schuster. Discussion? All those in favor? We have 7 ayes.
And with that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Community Relations, Planning and Development, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Madam President. Nothing for official action for tonight. We spoke about the Southwest Lehigh County Comprehensive Plan that is coming along, and also the Economic Development Committee of the Emmaus Main Street Partners has received the gap analysis, but it has to be amended, so we're still waiting on the data from that. Again, nothing for official action. I'll report progress.
Thank you. Personal Appeals Part 2. Anyone with a personal appeal, please step forward, sign in, state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes. Hearing none, Borough Manager's Report, Mr. Pepe.
You have on your desk what I've been working on nonstop for, I don't even know how long now.
You want us to take that home?
While you were at the parade, I was crying about some things in the budget. Read up, we're a long way. There's a lot of capital requests, there's a lot of unknowns, there's a lot of question marks, there's a lot of decision-making we're going to need to muddle through. First budget workshop out of 6, I think, that are scheduled is on the 27th. Be prepared for 3 hours that night. That's the night the department managers come in and discuss their requests. As you open the flap of the binder, you'll see the budget message, 106 pages, I think was this year's. The budget, and then there's a bunch of supplemental things that you can put into the binders that either are amendments to some other things or additions. So if you don't know where they go, I'll let you know, but there's a bunch of stuff there. So you'll have the electronic version. I'll do CDs, or if you have thumb drives, bring a thumb drive. I'll have that to you by Friday. Okay. Other than that, the significant revenues and expense report is in the back of the binder. If you have any questions about that. Otherwise, I'll report progress.
You're asking us to remove Michael Hoffman from the Planning Commission?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Last bit of business, I forgot that was on my agenda. We have been in touch, or attempted to be in touch with Mr. Hoffman on numerous occasions. We had issues with him not attending Planning Commission meetings last year. One of our commission members cornered him somewhere in public and talked him into showing up again. He started showing up, and he's been MIA for months now. I've sent him emails, we've sent him letters. The commission has sent him letters. We've made phone calls. We get absolutely no response from him. So we're at a point where we need warm bodies that can be of assistance rather than a name tag sitting there with nobody to fill it. So we're asking that you consider removing Michael Hoffman from the Planning Commission for non-feasance.
Let's start with this. The Planning Commission, I'm trying to think, I wasn't prepared for this tonight. The MPC, does it require staggered terms? Because if it does, you cannot just remove a person except upon notice of charges, opportunity to be heard.
He's been informed officially by me.
But I mean, you have to have a hearing and all that, and you have to. If it is not staggered terms, you can remove a person at any time because you have the power to appoint. That is the constitutional.
It's a staggered term, but the question would be, how can we get him to a hearing when he's not responding to any communication?
No, we gave him
A time limit?
10-day notice.
What you have to do is give him a statement of charges, because he has to know exactly what he's charged with.
Yeah, it's not real difficult. Our letter to him was very clear. It said, you have not been in meetings, we have tried to contact you. We want to know if you're remaining, you have 10 days to contact us. I think that probably would have.
Suffice?
Not legally, but if you wish to proceed,
Okay,
go ahead.
whatever.
From a legal standpoint, what you really should do is give him a notice and say that he will have an opportunity to be heard at the next meeting to respond to the charges. If he fails to appear, you simply proceed with his removal at that time. That is the correct way to do it. Otherwise,
attendance
you're open to
requirements.
challenge.
Other committees, we have attendance requirements, but the committee can remove you if you're not there.
Failed to show.
Problem is, if you have staggered terms, the courts have interpreted that as that the legislature, the state legislature has has interpreted the law, when you put a staggered term, is that a person can only be removed for cause.
Well, maybe if the newspaper will write that he hasn't been to meetings, maybe he'll contact us then.
He can certainly resign, that makes it easy.
Well, that's what we've been,
We've
that's,
been
That's what we're
attempting to
hoping
do
for. It's
that,
not happening.
yeah.
and
it's-
he's not
Well,
responding to
If not, I will be
communication.
glad to write.
No, that's okay. We'll take care of it. It's not
Gentlemen,
gonna-
what's your wish this evening? You want Mr. Pepe to send him one more letter telling him he needs to appear here November 2nd, or do you want to take action this evening?
I'll make a motion to remove Michael Hoffman from the planning commission.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brown. Discussion. Mr. Barrett?
Because there truly is no rush, why not wait just to be 100% sure?
I agree.
It seems like the smart thing to do. If there was a real rush, we're not gonna have someone on that board before then. We're not gonna have time to interview people before then. The message can be said that we are looking for a new person starting today, but that we have to wait till, I mean, why risk it if we
I agree.
agree, right?
Doesn't matter to me one way or the
So,
other.
I will vote against removing him now, but if we don't hear from him, I will be voting to remove him after we have gone through the process.
Mr. Brown?
I do want to say that, from what I've heard, that he has, when he is here, though, he does contribute, and he's very wealthy in the knowledge area of
And that is
planning.
absolutely true. That
So-
he's very well schooled in what he's
Yeah.
talking about doing, but that helps us with nothing when we're spending the money to give him material, we're spending the money to send people to his door, we're spending the money sending him letters. At least he can give us the respect to respond. That's all we're asking.
Send the official letter then.
It should be a notice of a hearing that night. That's what it should be.
Before we take this to a vote, Mr. Holzapher, would you be willing to withdraw your motion?
No, thank you.
Mr. Brown, are you willing to remove your second?
I'll stay.
You're gonna stay. All right. All those in favor? We got 3 ayes. Those opposed? We got 4 opposed. Barrett, Shubsta, Anders, and Gilbert are opposed. Please send him the official letter telling him he needs to respond here November 2nd. Anything further from you, Mr. Pepe?
No, progress.
It's indicated on here that we're going to have an executive session. I am canceling that executive session for this evening, so we will not be going into executive session. I have nothing further under President's business. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Barrett, second by,
Who's getting it in there?
second by Mr. Ladenburg. Discussion? Mr. Ladenburg.
Go Eagles.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? We got 7 ayes. We are adjourned at 7:47, 7:45. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty.
He looks good, but he.
Yeah. Good night.